Hello, good afternoon.
Sir,
Okay. Uh, we have stopped our class yesterday at aphorism number, means in the last class up to which aphorism we have discussed?
Aphorism 12, sir.
Aphorism 12 have been discussed. Okay,
No, sir,
clear.
not complete.
Not complete. Up to which portion we have discussed?
The first part, I think, till internal dynamics.
Aphorism number 12.
12.
Okay. Okay, we just write the heading that this aphorism 12 is telling about the removal of totality is the cure. Okay, removal of totality is cure. Just give the heading and go to the content and see here. Go to the content and see by the disappearance of totality of symptoms. By the disappearance of totality of symptoms by the cure, the affection of vital force, that is to say, the whole internal and external morbid state is also removed. Mark the word internal and external. We have told that this disease having two parts, the internal part and the external part. The internal part need not to be of our concern. Okay, but if you are in successfully remove the totality, that means you have achieved the cure. Okay. So now read the next part.
In a word, they reveal the whole disease. Consequently, also, the disappearance under treatment of all the morbid phenomena and of all the morbid alterations that differ from the healthy vital operations certainly affects and necessarily implies the restoration of the integrity of the vital force and, therefore, the recovered health of the whole organism.
Okay, the first part was that the how the disease is revealing itself, and the next part is establishing what Hahnemann have told in content, that this removal of the totality of symptom indicates the removal of disease in its internal and external form. Okay. Now you will mark the word that the vital force has been replaced by energy. In the sixth edition, you will get this type of explanation everywhere in the organon. In the sixth edition, that this force has been replaced with energy or somewhere with the principle, and that we have discussed why it is so. This is totally on the basis of terminology. Technically, that force should have direction, and as we know, the vital force cannot be told that is it is operating in a particular direction, so it has been replaced with the principle and energy, be it vital force, be it principle, both meaning by the same. Okay, now go to aphorism number 13. We have discussed these aphorisms in different contexts at different time, that it's is excluding everywhere. Hahnemann is discussing about the disease, he is excluding this surgical diseases. In the introduction we have read, in aphorism number 183 we have read, everywhere Hahnemann is telling about disease, he is trying to exclude those diseases due to which is falling under the provenance of surgery, and we have already discussed in while dealing with the aphorism number 7 footnote, and we have also discussed in the introduction part, and we have also discussed the aphorism number 183 regarding this. Okay, so this just read out the aphorism.
Therefore, disease, that does not come within the province of manual surgery, considered, as it is by the allopathist, as a thing separate from the living whole, from the organism and its animating vital force, and hidden in the interior, be it of ever so subtle a character, is an absurdity that could only be imagined by minds of a materialistic stamp, and has for thousands of years given to the prevailing system of medicine all those pernicious impulses that have made it a truly mischievous, non-healing art.
Okay, underline truly mischievous, non-healing art. Now, give a asterisk, a star mark to this absurdity and write materia pickens. Okay, the materia pickens, what we have read in aphorism number 11, footnote, that was actually meant for this place, absurdity. Okay, for this place, it was mistakenly have been printed there. That materia pickens, the two-word footnote, is actually meant for this place. After absurdity, there is a footnote. If you will check the Wheeler's translation of the fifth edition, you will get this. Absurdity is actually the term here which have been misplaced there. Materia pickens. After absurdity, there is a footnote. Okay, so this is regarding the academic part of the organon, that this we don't feel any, means we are not helped with this explanation that materia pickens should be there or should be here, but academically this should, if this we should know. Okay, that footnote has been misplaced there. That doesn't mean for aphorism number 11 but aphorism number 13. Okay, now go to the content of aphorism number
Sir,
13. Yes.
sir, what if it comes in the exam that which of to which aphorism it belongs?
No, it won't come in exam. Actually, this footnote is very short. If even you have been asked in your exam, it will be regarding materia pickens, not regarding this footnote. This may be a topic for your postgraduate examination. Okay, postgraduate theory examination. Okay,
Okay, sir.
like write a note on the dozens translations of organ of medicine. Okay, so this should be included in that answer. It won't be asked in your undergraduate examination.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
No, go to aphorism number 13, content. Mark this line: to regard those diseases that are not surgical. Everywhere Hahnemann is separating the surgical diseases, okay, excluding the surgical diseases. So aphorism number 13 is regarding the is the disease is separate, something separate from the organism. No, it is consisting as a whole. Okay, aphorism number 14. Go to aphorism number 14, content. I means we have discussed this before also. Okay, aphorism number 14, content. Read the content.
Everything of a morbid nature that is curable makes itself known to the physician by disease symptoms.
Okay, that is
Yes.
curable. Underline that. Everything of a morbid nature that is curable. Okay, so how you are going to ascertain that what diseases are curable and what diseases are not curable? The first and foremost thing, that curable diseases will give you distinct symptom. Okay, the curable diseases will give you distinct symptom. Now the pathology are advanced in our time, that even the vitality is low, it is unable to form its external form. Okay, internal form is there, and if on investigation, if you are getting some internal forms of diseases, you can prescribe over them. Okay, now aphorism number go to Kant's philosophy, last lecture, the difficult and incurable cases. Okay, the difficult and incurable cases. Okay, what do you mean by difficult cases and what do you mean by incurable cases? what is difficult cases and what is incurable cases? Can you
Uncurable
tell me?
means which can never be cured,
Yes.
and difficult, which is hard to cure.
How you will distinguish? How you will distinguish this? This is difficult and this is incurable. And what will be your mode of approach? Okay. Hahnemann is saying at many places that these are difficult to cure. Two conditions Hahnemann are giving where the medicines are less. That is one of the condition difficulty faced by us, that we don't know many medicines. Okay, one. Though that is not related to the cases but to our medicines, that we don't know many medicines or there are not many medicines in our proving. That case have been solved now because we are having around 5,000 medicines in our Materia Medica. Okay, two conditions Hahnemann discussed here from aphorism number 160, I think it is 162 onward. Okay, 160 onward. Go to aphorism number 162. Please go to aphorism number 162. Somehow Rashmi has been disconnected. So any one of you, please volunteer yourself to read this aphorism number 162. Just open the difficult and incurable cases. We will back to it. We will come back to it. Now go to aphorism. We are telling what are difficult cases. Hahnemann is telling. Okay, what are difficult cases? Now go to 162. Aphorism number 162.
Sometimes, sometimes happens owing to the moderate number of medicines, yet known with respect to their true pure action, that but a portion of the symptoms of the disease under treatment are to be met with in it within the list of symptoms of the most appropriate medicines. Consequently, this imperfect medicinal morbific agent must be employed for lack of more perfect one.
Okay, underline owing to the moderate number of medicine. Owing to the moderate number of medicines. Now we are not having moderate number of medicines. We are having around 5,000 medicines. But each medicines we know that is not possible. So owing to our lack of knowledge of medicine, we are prescribing most appropriate one, that is imperfect for the lack of perfect one. Underline that. Imperfect medicinal morbific agent for the lack of perfect one. Okay, this is a condition where the medicines are less number of medicines are known and we cannot select. So this case, this condition is difficult. Now we will discuss it later on. Now go to 172. Go to 172. Read it.
A similar difficulty in the way of
Okay,
the cure of
similar difficulty. What difficulty already have been discussed? Due to lack of new medicines, lack of medicines. Okay, our knowledge of medicine. We are not knowing much drugs to be employed. Is the lack of symptom. Another difficulty in the case is lack of symptom in the case. So these cases are difficult. One-sided diseases are difficult to cure. Similar difficulty. So there are two difficulties. One condition where the medicines are not much medicines are known, and other difficulty is it. A similar difficulty. Okay, in the way of cure occurs, underline, from the symptoms of disease being too few. Okay, a similar difficulty, that number of medicines were being too few. Now the symptoms of disease are being too few. Underline this. Okay, now go to 173 and search out less and amenable to cure. less amenable to cure. Okay, got it?
Yes, sir.
One-sided disease. One-sided, one-sided. Okay, why it is one-sided? Because underlying only one or two principal symptoms which obscure almost all other. Okay, that is why it is one-sided. They belong chiefly to the class of chronic diseases. These are giving symptoms but not more distinctly. Okay, though the two things you can consider here, that either it is one-sided disease or it is a disease which is difficult to cure. Okay, it is curable. Sorry, either it is one-sided disease, that means it is difficult to cure. It is curable but difficult to cure because of the lack of symptoms, and this lack of symptoms also may indicate that this disease is incurable. Clear? Okay, so there is difficult which can be confirmed to curable cases, can be transformed to curable cases by our this method which have been discussed 173 onwards. What you should do in one-sided diseases. What are one-sided diseases? These are diseases which are less amenable to cure. Why these are difficult to cure? Because of this one-sided nature. Means only 173. We are discussing 173. Only one or two principal symptoms underline which obscure almost all other. They belong chiefly to the class of chronic disease. Okay, they belong chiefly to the class of chronic diseases. Underline this. Now come to 174. Now go to their principal symptoms. May be either an internal complaint. Okay, this one-sided diseases may be of internal nature, that is headache of many years duration. Giving symptoms, headache is there. Okay, but only headache is there, nothing else. On which symptom you are going to prescribe? You have to take consideration this only. After, if it was curable, if this disease, you know that it is difficult to cure, now you cannot decide that it is curable or not. You went on the direction with the direction given here. Okay, you went on to give your medicine. With your medicine you are giving a partially similar medicine. With your medicine the case will open up. Okay, you gave your medicine on the symptoms of headache and no other symptoms were present. The imperfect medicines, partial similar medicines were given. Now the case will open up and the patient will start giving you more peculiar symptoms. So this was a case which was difficult, not incurable. Okay, where there is symptoms are less, that case obviously difficult to cure, but if it is incurable, it is going to be decided later. Okay, okay, so this one-sided disease can be internal, headache of many a duration, diarrhea of long standing, ancient cardialgia, that is the old term. That doesn't mean that the cardialgia our forefathers have suffered. That cardialgia of long standing, it's called in old terminology ancient cardialgia, and etc. Or okay, that was an internal complaint, or it may be affections of an external kind. Okay, internal complaint में ये सब आ गया. One more internal complaint is of mental. Okay, is of mental diseases. That will start just after these aphorisms are finished. Okay, internal again can be divided into two parts. External and internal can be divided into two parts, physical and mental. Okay, now this one-sided disease, another part is external. Only external manifestation is there, nothing else. This external manifestation is the chief symptom. Okay, or it can be of external nature. Underline this. Diseases of later character means external kind, is called local maladies. Okay, underline last, local maladies. Diseases of later character, that is external, underline local maladies. Okay, now go to aphorism number 210. 210. Go to first line. of psoric origin, underline this, are almost all those diseases that I have termed above, termed one-sided, which appear to be more difficult to cure. Underline this, difficult to cure. Why this is difficult to cure? In consequence of these one-sidedness. In the other word, in consequences of less symptoms, where there is paucity of symptom. Okay, where there is paucity of symptom. Okay, less symptoms, one-sided. Clear? Consequence of this one-sidedness. Aphorism number 210. We are discussing aphorism number 210. We are in the aphorism number 210. Okay, and their other morbid symptoms disappearing as it were before the single great prominent symptom. Okay, of this character, of which character? One-sided character, are what are termed mental disease. Underline this, are what are termed mental diseases. Okay, okay, so this one-sided disease may be of mental nature also. Here also, what have happened here in the mental diseases? What have happened there? The mental corporeal diseases have been subsided and the principal symptom is the mental. So mental diseases are difficult to cure. Which diseases are difficult to cure? Where there is paucity of symptom, there are less number of symptom, they are one-sided. These one-sided may be of internal nature, may be of external nature. Internal one-sided disease can be of physical character, can be of mental character, and external we have told that it is local disease. Clear? So this is difficult cases. That doesn't mean difficult cases are incurable cases. Okay, every incurable cases may be difficult cases, but every difficult cases may not be incurable. Okay, if you are going according to the directions given here in the mental disease aphorism and on 172 onwards, you will get that these one-sided diseases now being transformed and opening up and started to give symptoms. Okay, so that will be your approach. Now go to the Kent's lecture, last lecture, difficult and incurable cases, palliation. 1, 2, third paragraph, read it. Third paragraph.
Closely analogous to these cases are what may be called alternating complaints and one-sided complaints. Those that
Underline
cure
this,
but one side.
alternating those alternating complaints and one-sided complaints. Okay, these are also difficult to cure. Alternating complaints, thanda mein, that alternating in years, not that alternating in 24 hours or 2 hours, in years. People are suffering from asthma in winter season and from diarrhea in summer season. Okay, and you are treating that case as asthma in winter. You are focusing totally on asthma. You are forgetting that there is another side of disease. Okay, that is diarrhea. Until and unless you are not considering the whole symptomatology occurred during the length of year, you are not going to treat easily these alternating cases. Okay, now underline these two also, alternating symptoms and one-sided symptoms. Now read next.
It is not uncommon for the patient's malady to have two sides, one side being manifested when the other side is not. Eye symptoms may be present when the stomach symptoms are absent. You may find that euphrasia is more sharply related to the eye symptoms than the antisodic that fits the whole case, and that pulsatilla fits the stomach symptoms much better than the antisodic that fits the whole case. But remember that there is one antisodic that is more similar to the whole patient than these special remedies because it is better fitted to the generals. The oftener
Underline
you
this.
prescribe
There are two examples of euthanasia and pulsatilla. Now remember that there is one antipsoric that is covering the both. Okay. Now go on.
The oftener you prescribe for different groups of symptoms, the worse it is for your patient because it tends to rivet the constitutional state upon the patient and to make him incurable. Do not
Okay.
prescribe
You
until
can make your patient incurable by doing this, not considering the whole.
Do not prescribe until you have found the remedy that is similar to the whole case, even although it is clear in your mind that one remedy may be more similar to one particular group of symptoms and another remedy to another group. Very often, a remedy that will go to the very center and restore order to the economy will cause quite a turmoil. These alternating and one-sided complaints are sometimes dreadful to manage, and when everything is thrown to the surface or the extremities, example, when gouty and rheumatic symptoms have an outward tendency, the patient will run off and leave you.
Okay. So that is why it is often difficult from the side of patient also. Patient will not stick to you. You have to give him a relief in those acute pains. You can't make your patient understand that this asthma will be relieved by this eczema. Okay, and you have to bear it. So that is also, it is making incurable, means making difficult. Next.
Incurable complaints, and you meet many, will trouble any physician. The allopath has the means of putting the patients under the influence of strong drugs and making them imagine that something is being done to their benefit, whereas injury is being done whenever they are patched up by strong drugs. It is unaccountable, therefore, that some of our homeopathic practitioners make use of palliatives that are so detrimental to the patient. The
That is
physician who
now incurable cases are started. That was difficult. That was difficult cases. One-sided alternating symptoms. Those were of difficult cases. For the difficult cases, now the incurable cases are being discussed. What to do in these incurable cases? Kent is not explaining here that what is incurable cases. Just going on to tell that it is incurable, and we know from the aphorism number 14 that those cases which have no distinct, which are not giving symptoms, are tend to be incurable one. Okay, now go on reading.
The physician who applies the single remedy in potentized form under the law of cure any length of time will easily be convinced that there is no other way of palliation that holds out any permanent hope for the patient. Opium will sometimes relieve pain, stop diarrhea, and mitigate cough. But woe to the patient. It's so annuls reaction that there is no possible development of the symptoms that are necessary to indicate what homeopathic remedy that the patient needs. And while the pain is stopped and the patient is not cured, what has been said of opium is as true of all drugs given to relieve pain. When an opiate must be given, let it be clearly understood that a cure of this patient is abandoned. What thoughtful physician will abandon the hope of cure during painful sickness so long as life endures? In consumption and cancer and wasting sickness, the remedy that is most similar to the painful group of symptoms will ever give the most relief, and it is forlorn hope that tempts its abandonment.
Okay, last line. In consumption, what is consumption?
TB.
This is tuberculosis. Okay, very good. It is tuberculosis, cancer, and wasting sicknesses, where these are, Kent is terming incurable. Okay, cancer, consumption, wasting sickness. Okay, tuberculosis, during the Kent's period, tuberculosis is still is being treated with allopathic medicines, and patients are living longer. So we can call it that with the allopathic medicines there is recovery of the patient, but the taint is there. Okay, tubercular taint is there with the allopathy. Do you know that Boning Hassan was cured of his tuberculosis by homeopathic medicine? Do you know that?
Yes, sir.
So Boni Hussain was a botanist, okay, and he lost his all hopes with tuberculosis. That he was diagnosed with prevalent tuberculosis of his lung, okay, and he was treated by one of his friend, Dr. Way, with pulsatilla, and he was cured of his tuberculosis, and he become one of the greatest prescriber of homeopathy, greatest author of homeopathy of all time. Okay, so consumption was cured in, and Kent is telling it is incurable, but this incurability can be changed to curability. So it was difficult, not incurable, for Boni Hussain, you can say. Now, during the Kent's period, there was physician Barnett. Have you heard the name of Barnett? Dr. J.C. Barnett. Okay, he was treating lots of tuberculosis cases. Okay, lots of tuberculosis cases with this bacillinum, tuberculinum, and all those remedies he devised. There is a small booklet on cure of consumption by J.C. Barnett. Okay, if you get that, go through that. How Barnett have given the case records of many tuberculosis cases treated with homeopathy. So in this, in Kent's Materia Medica, in the lecture, you will find many a time that this consumption is incurable disease and all hopes should be left out, and you can palliate these cases. Okay, so and so that nowadays you are treating cancer, you are dealing with cancer as incurable, yet you are seeing cancer patient recovering under homeopathic medicine. Okay, cancer, diagnosed cancer patient, I have seen with my eyes that the pathology have been reversed, and the oncologist, one of my friend's father, he died afterward, after 4 or 5 years of treatment, that of liver cancer. He was under homeopathic treatment, one of our teacher, and he was diagnosed with liver cancer. Okay, so that our teacher treated him for 4 years, and after 4 years the CT scan shows that the tumor is being reduced. Okay, is just 1 or 2 tumors were there, malignant tumors were there, one of them was not there. Okay, the oncologist said that I have doubt on my diagnosis. Okay, the tumor is getting reduced. So this was incurable cases. In that also, diagnosed incurable cases, not in homeopathy only, but allopathic school are also calling it incurable. You can extend the span of life, but you cannot cure the patient. Ultimately, this was the thing, that the patient's life was expand, but it was not cured. The cancer was still there. So this was incurable case on the path of recovery, or at least you should do your palliation in these type of cases. And remember, the law of cure is, law of palliation is similar to law of cure. Okay, and what is the law of cure? Similia similibus curanter. Okay, what is the law of cure? Similia similibus curanter. And what is the law of palliation? That is also similia similibus curanter. Okay, you cannot prescribe opium for pain. Okay, that is what? Acting on what law? That is contraria contraris. That is not the law of palliation. Law of palliation is the law of cure also. Okay, go to Roberts aphorism, the law of palliation, chapter number 19. Go to Robert, chapter number 19, the law of palliation, in my page number 162. In my book it is 162. 1 2 3 4, fifth paragraph. Fifth paragraph.
I don't have that book right now.
Okay, anyone having Roberts? Anyone having Roberts philosophy?
Paragraph.
Okay. Okay. Please go to fifth number. Paragraph to fifth.
When we are this one. When we are facing.
Next paragraph to that. Next to that.
Another class of symptoms.
For instance, a recent case of incurable cancer. Just above that, paragraph above that.
Oh, acha, I got. For instance, a recent case of incurable cancer developed involuntary urination with absolutely no control over the condition. Her remedy was one of the calcarea group. For these troublesome symptoms of involuntary urination, the repertory gives us 5 remedies of equally prominent rank which we can consider: arsenic, natramine, pulsatilla, rastrox, and causticum. With the constitutional similarity of the patient to the calcareous causticum, which was the only remedy to be considered, and one dose of causticum 200 restored complete control over the disagreeable symptoms and made the patient more comfortable in general.
Okay. Now mark the word incurable cancer. Incurable. A recent case of incurable cancer. Now I want you to understand there you cannot say a disease is incurable. Okay. Always remember that cancer is not incurable or curable. You cannot say. Okay. Tuberculosis is incurable or curable. You cannot say. Patient often ask that Dr. Saab, whether this is curable or not curable. Okay, this is not the disease which is curable or incurable. Complete the sentence. I am saying this is there is another part of the sentence, that is I am saying you need to complete the sentence. What I am saying, just next you I want you to say that their disease is not curable or incurable. Complete the sentence. Just complete it. Disease is not curable or incurable. Just complete. I am completing. It is the patient which is curable or incurable. Okay? Make it an axiom of your life that disease is not curable or incurable. It is the patient which is curable or incurable. Okay, make this axiom of your life, so you are never going to tell that cancer is curable. It was a case of cancer which was curable and you have treated. Okay, you are not going to say that the cancer is incurable, but it was a case of cancer which was incurable. These pathological diagnosis will give you hint that this may be a difficult case. Okay, this may be a difficult case, but it is curable or incurable. It is the vitality of the patient which is going to decide. Okay, that we have discussed. Preface to 5th edition, translator's preface, where the vital force is getting an upper hand in the cure of disease. It is the vitality of the patient which is going to decide. Okay, clear? Simple skin diseases are sometimes incurable. Okay, and malignant cancer, malignant tumors are curable. Okay, so it is not the disease which is curable or incurable, rather it is the patient which is curable or incurable. I just pointed out this the in recent case of incurable cancer. Okay, and now that this example has been given that how you are getting the medicine in these type of cases. You are one of the way of getting medicines to search for. You are not going to give the constitutional medicines that may initiate the Kent's first observation. So are you are giving some of the related medicine. Okay. Any question you are having till now? So Now, when there is a paucity of symptoms, there are different use of repertory. In repertory, when you will be asked question about when you are going to use Kent repertory, when you are going to use bogus repertory, when you are going to use this BTPB, Boni Hussain's therapeutic pocketbook, when you are going to use this. Okay, so when you are going to use Kent repertory, when the generals are pronounced, when you are going to use bogus repertory, when the causations are pronounced, when the concomitants are pronounced, when you are going to use this BTPB, particularly Bonnings's therapeutic book, when there is paucity of symptoms, you are dealing only in few symptoms, you are dealing only with the few symptoms, and you are trying to complete it and getting your medicine with the help of Bonnings's therapeutic book. Okay, someday we will discuss that. Now come to that from where we have started today, aphorism number 14. Okay, now read it.
There is in the interior of man nothing morbid that is curable, and no invisible morbid alteration that is curable, which does not make itself known to the accurately observing physician by means of morbid signs and symptoms, an arrangement in perfect conformity with the infinite goodness of the all-wise preserver of human life.
See preserver. See the preserver. What is not what peculiar thing you are noticing here? The word preserver.
He is in capital letter.
It is in capital. Why it is in capital letter?
Maybe just a writing style.
That's just I am asking the English grammar. If you have some
It's a
remembrance of English
noun.
grammar, it is noun. Very good.
Right.
It is noun. Who is the preserver of health?
Physician.
Preserver of human life. It is referring to all wise
God.
creator. Okay, God. That is why it is in capital. So this is the means why we are reading these texts. Okay, to get ourselves accustomed with the pattern of organ of medicine, so that first read, understand, and then apply. Okay. So just for interesting, making it interesting, I asked this question. Preserver is noun here, so it is in capital. Okay, that won't be a question that someday some examiners like me may set a question why preserver is P. Okay, a cap P in preserver is in capital. Okay, that is theoretic organon. But out of making you curious about the pattern the organon is following, I just asked this question. So underline by means of morbid signs and symptoms. Okay, now go to aphorism number 15.
The affection of the morbidly deranged, spirit-like dynamis, vital force, that animates our body in the invisible interior, and the totality of the outwardly cognizable symptoms produced by it in the organism and representing the existing malady, constitute a whole. They are one and the same. The organism is indeed the material instrument of the life, but it is not conceivable without the animation imparted to it by the instinctively perceiving and regulating vital force, regulating dynamics in the sixth edition, just as the vital force is not conceivable without the organism. Consequently, the two together constitute a unity, although in thought our mind separates this unity into two distinct conceptions for the sake of facilitating the comprehension of it. Easy comprehension in the sixth edition.
Very good. Now underline they are one and same. Underline material instrument of life, that is body, not conceivable without the animation imparted to it by vital force. The two characteristics of vital force is given here: instinctively perceiving, okay, regulating vital force, regulating dynamics. Just as the vital force is not conceivable without the organism. Okay, so you need to see, if you need to see the force, if you need to see the force, if you need to see the gravity, how gravity is coming, this This indicates that there is gravity. This indicates that there is gravity. Same thing, this animation, this talking, this moving, this I am talking to you. This indicates that vital force is there. If I am not having this body, the vital force is inconceivable. Okay? The vital force need something to reflect itself, as the body needs vital force to get itself, okay, to act. Without the vital force, the body is dead. Without the body, the vital force is not conceivable. Okay, vital energy is not conceivable. So these disease and the vital force, disease body, the sick body is actually the sickness of the vital force, and so they are forming a unity, a whole. Okay, in our mind we are separating body and the vital force. Why we are separating body and the vital force? Underline, uh, two together constitute a unity. Two together, vital force and the body, constitute a unity. Although in our mind separate this into two distinct conception, for the sake of why we are separating vital force and the body, for the sake of easy comprehension, for the sake of facilitating the comprehension of it, easy understanding. To understand it, we are separating. Content of aphorism number 15. Go to content of aphorism number 15. The affection of disease
The,
vital force and the disease symptoms thereby produce constitute an inseparable whole. They are one and same. Okay, they are one and same. The affection of vital force is there, but it is reflected by the body. There is something internal also, but this is mainly by outwardly reflected picture vital force is giving. That is a separate thing. But the disease and the vital force, disease body and the diseased vital force are same. Okay, why we are separating? We are separating it for the sake of comprehension, to understand. Okay, now go to aphorism number 16.
our vital force as a spirit-like dynamism cannot be attacked and affected by injurious influences on the healthy organism caused by the external inimical forces that disturb the harmonious play of life. Otherwise than in a spirit-like dynamic way, and in like manner all such morbid
Wait here,
derangements, diseases.
wait here, just wait here. So you are seeing that this aphorism constitute only a single sentence. Okay, first comma we have uh, encountered before, and next comma is way. Okay, underline a spirit like dynamism, spirit like dynamism, and underline spirit like dynamic way. Okay, spirit like dynamism, then spirit like dynamic way. It is cannot be affected but in a dynamic way. Okay, cannot be affected but in a dynamic way. Okay, otherwise than in a dynamic way. Cannot be affected otherwise in a dynamic way. Next, and in like manner all such morbid derangement cannot be removed by the physician in any other way than the dynamic alternative. From here, the trinity of dynamics is coming. Okay, vital force, the disease, and the medicine. Okay, all should be a dynamic. The trinity of dynamics are what are the three dynamics in homeopathy you are often asked in your undergraduate examination. From here, aphorism number 16, your answer will be. Okay, the vital force is dynamic, the plane is dynamic, the causation it should be disturbed in dynamic way, and the disturbance should be cured in a dynamic way. Okay, so three dynamics are coming. Now read next.
Uh, Other way than by the spirit-like alternative powers of the serviceable medicines acting upon our spirit-like vital force, which perceives them through the medium of the sentient faculty of the nerves everywhere present in the organism, so that it is only by their dynamic action on the vital force that or that remedies are able to re-establish and do actually re-establish health and vital harmony. After the changes in the health of the patient, cognizable by our senses, have revealed the disease to the carefully observing and investigating physician as fully as was requisite in order to enable him to cure it. Yeah.
I lost a connection because of a call. Am I audible?
Sir.
Okay. You have read the aphorism. Have you read the aphorism?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please read it for me.
And in like manner, all such morbid derangements, diseases, cannot be removed from it by the physician in any other way than by the spirit-like, dynamic, virtual, alternative powers of the serviceable medicines acting upon our like vital force, which perceives them through the medium of the sentient faculty of the nerves everywhere present in the organism, so that it is only by their dynamic action on the vital force that remedies are able to re-establish and do actually re-establish health and vital harmony. After the changes in the health of the patient, cognizable by our senses, the totality of the symptoms have revealed the disease to the carefully observing and investigating physician as fully as was requisite in order to enable him to cure it.
Underline this. Have revealed the disease to the carefully observing physician. We have discussed this, okay, to the carefully of to some physician the disease may be incurable, and to the master physician that disease may be curable. Okay, we have discussed this, who is a accurately or carefully observing physician. Okay, so these three dynamics, the long, you will see it is a long sentence and we have broken down into small parts. Underline this: vital force which perceive whom? Perceive medicine through the sentient faculty of nerves everywhere present in the organism. Underline this: sentient faculty of nerve everywhere present in the organism. Underline this. Okay. Now, the discussion on the vital force have ended here. 9 to 16, the vital force was expounded. The theory of vital force was expounded in the aphorism number 9 to 16, the fifth edition. Though it was there from the very first edition, the concept of dynamic concept of life was there, but it was expounded as a theory in the fifth edition. And you got mentioned of a vital force in preface of the fourth edition also. Okay, and we have discussed about simple substance of Kent. Okay, we have discussed the idea of Richard Hughes regarding vital force, and we have discussed the Hahnemann's idea, and we have to some extent discussed what is curable, what is incurable, what is palliation, and how we are going to decide. Okay, clear? So here vital force ended. From next day onward, we will take from aphorism number 17 onward. Okay. Any question you are having, may ask.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, in the last class we discussed about the aphorism number 9. There, it was said that higher purpose of existence. The last line. There you gave the example of one of your patient, and you gave the example of yours also, that you was writing but you stopped, and now you, when you look at them, you feel okay. From that, I was thinking that as our miasmatic basis affects our mind, So, with the progress of the life, different miasms get predominant at the different phase of the life. It may be just because of exciting causes or something maybe. So, so that not doing any constructive work or the thing that we are liking, it may be the predominancy of the miasms.
Last part I'm not getting. What you are asking? I understand your question, but last part what means? I understand the context you are asking, but I don't understand what the question you are asking.
Means I'm just last I said that the things that we were liking before or the things that were by doing were benefit to us or were constructive work that today we are not liking to do is just because of the predominancy of different miasms.
That can be that predominance. Now, I was in context of higher purpose. You are mixing the two things. Okay, higher purpose of existence. I was telling the occupation a person like. Okay, if a person is not liking his occupation, 9 to 5 job he is not liking, and still he is doing, and he is telling that I'm not able to enjoy my work because he is not made for it. Okay, his bent of mind is not for that. You are telling about hobbies. Okay, that means hobbies are different. It may be you may acquire different hobbies, but the purpose object of your life, what you are enjoying in means enjoying doing. Okay, that is why we ask our patient to discover your object of life. Means counselors, the career counselors, what they are telling, they are asking their patient to discover the object of their life. Okay, okay, that is the fix. Everyone have some professions. Okay, it may be 2 or 3 which they are liking, and that is fixed by their temperament. Okay, that is not going to change, but these hobbies are going to change from time to time, and as you say, it can be depend upon miasms. Okay,
Okay, sir.
not fully understood.
uh,
Not
clear
fully
no
understood.
as clear
Now
no.
go to temperament. Temperament of Roberts, chapter temperament, chapter number 20,
Yes, sir.
third paragraph, fourth
This
paragraph,
temperament.
fourth paragraph.
It has been said that the temperaments are cast in the very beginning of the new individual, when the parents shall first unite, and that one once cast, there is no deviation from them, and that what is physiological cannot be influenced or changed by the action of our remedies. Both
Underline
these
this.
state
What is physiological? What has been casted? What is physiological cannot be influenced or changed by our remedy, and as also cannot be changed by this at different stage of life. You are telling that different miasms are that miasm is at different stage of life, different miasm and predominant, and so acquiring different hobbies. One serial killer hobby is a person of serial killer, his hobbies is murdering, so predominant miasm is and
syphilis.
this syphilis, and all of a sudden he came and say I'm not enjoying my profession. Okay, you cannot tell that this was his object of life, now he is sick. Okay, now next.
Both these statements are to be considerable degree true. But perhaps it would be more definitely true if we said that the initial tendency cannot be changed, but that the homeopathically indicated remedy prescribed accurately in babes and children can so modify the physiological tendencies as to prevent their unfavorable ultimates to a considerable degree.
Underline this. underline this. Next, we can prevent those ultimate of that kind of temperament, okay, but you don't mix this these tendencies with that higher purpose of existence that I gave you example to for the object of life, a person's object of life. One object is for the betterment of mankind, okay. Different religions are telling the same thing, that you are here on earth to serve the humanity, to serve the creatures of the creator, okay. You are here, that is one of the highest purpose of existence. But every person in their life has an object of their life. If they found that javelin throw, how Neeraj have discovered that and found that and obtained a gold medal in that, do you think that if it was not his passion or not tallying with his object, you cannot say that he was going to win the gold medal? But it was tallying with his object of life, the prince, this his higher purpose of existence, okay. All of a sudden if he came to you and tell that I am not enjoying my javelin through, that is the sickness, okay. And with your remedy is he's again going to enjoy. So I gave example of myself about writing, no, that is where you confused yourself. You thought that this writing may be hobby, okay. This writing was maybe a hobby and I was taking it as a higher purpose of existence, okay. So you are correct in that. I have taken that hobby into higher purpose of existence to give you example that has confused you. But after I mean that was not object, that was a hobby, okay. But that also you can take as a footnote, that can be an exception to that. But the main law is that the higher purpose of existence object of someone's life may be only one or subsidiary to that, okay, or subsidiary to that. I like writing, I like debating, okay, from my very early life. That is why I am able to take these classes, because I write teaching, I write these writing type of things or means skills, okay. I enjoyed seeing patients, okay. So these are can be combined together in an object, okay. Don't confuse those hobbies with higher purpose of existence. Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Anyone?
Sir,
Any question? Okay,
I have a
please.
question. The case you sent in the group with the patient having the habit of biting nails and skin. You said she is a OCD patient type. She suffers from
Okay.
OCD. Is it necessary that when you bite nails, you are a OCD patient? That you suffer from
Uh,
OCD?
Now that is also from depression, no? And that patient
Yes.
was not only biting nails. Okay, biting nail is one of the indication of depression also. Okay,
Yes,
and
sir.
but
I've
that
seen that.
person, that patient was biting his skin also, along with the nails. He was biting his skin. Skin biting his skin cannot be due to this. Oh yeah, depression.
Depression.
Okay, biting skin is obvious kind of OCD. Okay, and in that case, I got a history that there was a boil in his hand at childhood, and he was just uh, making it raw again and again. Okay, who is going to inflict oneself with injury? Okay, biting nail is not inflicting injury, but that making a wound raw is a kind of OCD. Okay, biting skin, inflicting an injury on oneself, okay, it is a kind of OCD. Okay,
Okay. Thank you, sir.
anyone having any question? So thank you. I'm very happy that you have attended this class for 1 hour, and those who are seeing the recording also thank to them. And we will meet next. Okay, and we will discuss from aphorism number 17 onward. I hope you are enjoying the classes and you are feeling like you will be able to practice homeopathy in a true homeopathic way. Thank you.
Sir.